Thank you for being here on Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and we want to talk to you today about the holidays. We'll be celebrating some events at the community college, and one in particular, we're going to be celebrating the traditions of Christmas, Navidad on the border. And so I have invited today for our first guest is Johnny Martinez, who's an instructor for our Senior Adult Program. And he's also very active in the community at the Eastside Senior Citizen Center. Thank you for being with us, Johnny.
And good morning, Mary.
Man, I'm getting right into it, aren't I? You know,
very good.
As we talk about what the college has done over the years. Now, the Navidad on the Border show, and you may know this, Johnny, is that this is our 26th year performing, preparing a show, Christmas show for the seniors.
Right.
We normally have 300-400 seniors show up, and we have singers and dancers, and we just celebrate so beautifully. And just to give it a little introduction, we start out with our Virgen de Guadalupe, which is a tradition of Mexico,
right.
Paying homage to Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Queen of the Americas, and then we go into the Nativity.
Okay.
And I'll be talking about who's going to be in the Nativity. We're having the St. Pius special needs group of kids, young people that are going to be Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, three kings. Since you are the instructor of the Coro and you are also the president.
In my capacity as a president of the board, I have one of my principal things that I have to come up with some projects for the seniors on a monthly basis, and I'm consistently working with the board to plan something for the seniors so they can not only have a meal there and bingo, but also to entertain them after they
have a lot of activities, right? They need to stay
right
active.
Now we have at least roughly about 90 people attending on a daily basis.
Very good.
And they, of course, we're looking forward to just entertain them as much as possible so they can stay there and not just leave the place, but to stay there and have a good time.
Very good. Now, the Coro will be performing the Mi Tierra.
I've had it for at least 5 years, and they have consistently been very faithful. They have given me their 100% as far as performing. We have come up with the idea of not only a choir, but a performing choir, which is to entertain in the capacity of making people even dance to the choir. Recently we had an activity that the choir sang for 4 hours for dancing, and this is the first time that a choir has been pretty much in charge of the dancing activity. That's unusual because I have introduced percussion to the choir, which is the maracas, the clave, pandero, güiro, and even little bells that are singing there. And this is very entertaining because people don't think that a choir can entertain as far as dancing,
exactly.
But they had a fabulous time.
And you play the keyboard,
and I play
right?
the keyboard.
And you add a little rhythm in there for all different kinds of music. The keyboard is capable of all kinds of rhythms.
We're often invited to retirement homes, church projects, and anywhere where they need some kind of entertainment, they invite us. Of course, you know, especially with the holidays, we always have. I do have music to entertain according to the holiday that's coming up. So I make up a program applying to the holidays.
Now you have that other group, the oldies but goodies, you call it.
It has been performing for at least 8 years. They're a very capable choir. They have been around a while. They're very, very experienced. They will be performing American songs, the Christmas traditional songs. And I also have applied a little bit of rhythm to it, such as some of those songs, say like Jingle Bells. It's on a rock and roll beat, you know.
Oh, yes, that's
so
right.
I have applied a little bit of rhythm also to that choir.
Seniors love that music, you know. That was our days. That was our growing up days.
It's a 15-piece choir, but they're fully bilingual. They sing both English and Spanish.
How many do you have in the oldies but goodies
in the
choir?
second choir, I have 15 people. They've been around me for about 8 years.
That keeps you busy, I'm sure, arranging, because you do your own arrangements with your keyboard.
I enjoy doing it, and I think it's not only therapy for the people that we go perform to, but also ourselves. we're all senior citizens also,
Yeah.
it keeps us busy. And
You have a birthday coming up too.
I have a birthday coming up.
Oh my gosh, that is so marvelous. And to see you working and active in the community, you're a model actually. You're a role model for all of us. I think you're coming up, I don't know if we want to say, but you are definitely.
And I truly enjoy what I do.
Very good. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the Mexican traditions, and also that we have a rondalla directed by Francisco Espinosa, our instructor. We have the mariachi also that will come and perform, the seniors mariachi group. And I think they call themselves Mariachi Valle Verde. And Valerie Torres is our instructor. And then, of course, in the American Christmas, we'll have the line dancers. And I think Trish Laskowski has the Latin dance class performing, a ballroom dance performing, the line dancers.
It's
it's just a beautiful show. So. Santa will be singing, and we also have Juan Diego for Our Lady that will be singing to the lady, I think a traditional song, Buenos Dias Paloma Blanca. So it's not really a dance, but it is a show. And so we expect about 300-400 people to show up at the El Paso Community College. We haven't even said what date it's going to happen. It's coming up Saturday, December the 10th, and it's going to be at the El Paso Community College in the ASC, the Administrative Service Center at 9050 Viscount, and in the A building in the auditorium. So we expect a good crowd.
And the time will be
from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. December's a little chilly, so we thought in the middle of the afternoon would be good, not too early. So 1 to 4 on December the 10th, Saturday. You can give us a call, by the way, and we'll give you the phone number. It's 915-831-7803, and we can we can tell you all about it. We are giving tickets, by the way, through our office, our Senior Adult Program office. You can call that number, and we are asking people that pick up a ticket to bring a little toy, an unwrapped toy for their children this Christmas. It's going to be tough for parents, especially people that don't have a lot of resources and income to provide gifts for their little kids. So
it's a good project. Right?
It's a good project. So when we pick up the gifts, bring a toy, unwrapped, so that if it's for a boy or a girl, and so that it can be given to the children this year. Right. I think the seniors will be glad to bring something.
A surprise,
I always give something in honor of my great grandkids. It used to be the grandkids, but they're all in their 20s now. So now it's for the great grandkids. And so let's talk a little bit about the reaction of the seniors when you plan events and performances for them.
One of the ideas that we're geared to achieve is to entertain them, not only as far as the entertainment purpose of dancing, but we also plan Ruidoso trips. And we rent a bus, of course, and we have a whole day that we go to Ruidoso. People enjoy just going around. And the feedback that I had from that is that they enjoy doing this just to get out of the routine, something a little bit different from them,
Yes.
And that's one of the things that we've tried to come out with something so they can enjoy on a daily basis. Every day they have something to look forward to when they come to the center. Yes.
Yeah, and also one of the things that has happened over the years is the actors that play different parts, Santa Claus and in particular Our Lady of Guadalupe. Elizabeth Cordova, I want to mention her name because she's been our beautiful Lady Virgin de Guadalupe for many, many years. Yes. And we want to thank her for that. And everybody that has something, our staff, of course. We have our Senior Adult Program, administrative assistants and volunteers. We have some really loyal volunteers. We've recently recruited Proyecto Mamá. Of course, in our staff is Norma Curiel and Carol Attell. In our office, Irma and Rodriguez is one of our volunteers. And so we just have a lot of fun. We'll have some refreshments. Right. We'll also have some exhibitors that want to, a few exhibitors in the auditorium that are going to be providing, their services, information, And then we have door prizes.
Oh, my
so we have
goodness.
a few prizes. We have a drawing, so we have a few. We have a good time. And then, of course, in the coming year, in February, around Valentine's, we'll be sponsoring and providing a beautiful love conference around Valentine's. And that is about loving yourself, about taking care of yourself. And that's in February. So we're going to end the year. Can you imagine we're already in December?
My goodness. Yeah.
You know, starting December, and it's like, wow, where did the year go?
Yeah, but I think we're looking forward to a great year because, you know, we're trying to get back to normal. And I think
Yes, we are.
You know.
And this is the first time we're coming back from being closed down because of the virus and the pandemic. But we thank you and your students, Johnny, for everything you do for this community, because not only do you have classes, you teach them how to be a chorus, how to sing in unison, but you also contribute to this community. You and your two choruses contribute to the community, performing for assisted living, nursing homes, and of course a senior center, and for us, the senior adult program and the community college.
Another thing that I do, Mary, I once a month I provide music. I sing by myself with my keyboard, and I do 2 hours of free music. People can come by and dance at least once a month.
Good.
And then, of course, we have a little snacks and have a good time, you know.
That's
and
wonderful.
Provide music for them.
Do you want to provide your number in case somebody wants to call you about the Coro?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, my number will be 915-412-8913.
Great. And we've been talking with Johnny Martinez, who is the instructor and director of the seniors Coro, Mi Tierra, and then also the Oldies But Goodies performing groups. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for inviting me.
And have a good day.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll see you in a little bit with another guest.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I told myself she'd fallen. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
My stuff kept disappearing, but I told myself I was misplacing it. I didn't want to see the truth. My daughter was stealing from me.
Many of us don't want to see the signs, don't want to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. If you suspect elder abuse, call the police or your local agency on aging. You don't have to prove abuse is taking place to report it. Remember, elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
To learn more, visit ncpc.org.
Well, thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and there is a special person that I want to introduce you to, one that I met many years ago. He's very dedicated to young adults that have special needs. He's got a background in his professional career. He's retired now, but we're still struggling and we're still having hopes and goals. And so I want to introduce you to Richard Couder, senior, of course.
Thank you, Mary, for inviting me.
And you, Richard, you and I have been working towards a goal, and we've not given up yet, and we will not give up to assist young adults in this community to reach their goals and to continue developing and growing and learning. And you are with the St. Pius Special Needs Group.
That is correct, Mary.
How many years have you been with this special needs group? And
Mary, I'm entering my 18th year, and each year it's been a wonderful experience. We have our challenges like anybody. We had difficult challenges with this pandemic, but when you turn around and help an individual that has a disability and see their smile and just a simple thank you, we're all volunteers, and that's, for me, enough. The good Lord guides us, our ministry. We try to do the best thing we can for our individuals so that they have a life.
Yes. Now, there's some background because not only your profession, you worked for Chapin High School, and you were a
Transition specialist.
transition specialist. But you go further than that. You go back to 1983. Tell me about that.
Well, I'll go a year and a half earlier. In 1981, my son was born. He was our first child. And the doctor comes out, a pediatrician, comes out and tells you, look what a beautiful baby boy you have. A year and a half later, you're a proud father. And a year and a half later, you see in the waiting room, my wife's her delivering the baby. And they say code red. And you're looking, what is code red? And you see people running in there. And we were the only ones in the floor and said, I know it's my wife.
Your second child.
It's my second child. And all we did was pray, Mary. And so when the doctor came out, his same doctor, took my daughter straight to the nursery. He just bypassed me like I didn't exist. And then he called me in. And the doctor was a great doctor. He's retired now. And he says, your child has the features of a mongoloid. Mary, I didn't know what a mongoloid was. He says, it's not your fault, not your wife's fault. It's God sent.
And now they call it Down syndrome.
Now they call it Down syndrome. And so when you look at that and you're saying to your first thing, you're saying, God, you start blaming yourself because
why me, or what did I do?
Why me, or what happened, or what did we do wrong, or So I cried, Mary, and I think my wife cried inside. And I went in there. She was born at Providence over there by UTEP, and I went to the chapel, and I cried before the good Lord, and I asked him. I says, why, God? And so I said, then give me, after I finished crying, give me the strength, the wisdom to both my wife and myself, and show us to bring this child up. Mary, God answered a prayer so quick I couldn't be more than grateful to the good Lord. I go upstairs to where my wife was, and in comes this nurse in the hallway, and she stops me. And she tells me one thing that I'll never ever forget. She told me, God only gives these special kids to special parents. You are lucky. I go, wow, God, you answered me too quick.
And so you've dedicated, you and your wife have dedicated your life.
My wife and I have dedicated our lives to our daughter to make sure
her name is
Zelma. They call her Selmita. We made life easier because we named my son after me and my daughter after my wife.
Okay.
So we basically wanted to make sure that we gave her the most opportunities to be successful in life. Mm-hmm. I thank my wife because from the beginning, it was her goal, and she would go to early intervention childhood, and they would compare Selma's development to a normal child. And
she was right up there.
She was right up there, and if she was behind, she'd go home and work with her and work with her and work with her.
Amazing.
And of course, as you get older, the difference in delays becomes. But we are blessed that we went to that early intervention. And we encourage every parent that has a newborn, go to find out what resources are available to you.
Yes. And fast forward, how old is she now?
She's going to be 40 in May. And that is a blessing in itself because when she was born, the doctor told us they don't live more than 35 years. So as a parent, you're looking at that age 35 and said, we're making a big party for her. And so we threw her a big party because we don't know what God provides us tomorrow.
And many more.
And many more.
And many more. That is such a beautiful story. Yes, and so you dedicated yourself. You became very active in working with young people beyond high school.
Right.
Beyond high school.
Well, Mary, what we looked at is this yellow bus that picks up our students, not only my daughter. School and life ends after high school, or school ends for them after 3:30. Very difficult. Now I'm talking about the IDD population, intellectual development disabilities.
Intellectual development disabilities.
Those individuals, to get them involved into sports, clubs.
Integrate them into society.
That's what you want to do that as early as you can,
Yeah.
so that they're with their peers.
Yes.
And as they're growing up, it's easier for them to adapt to society. When they're secluded and not included, it's challenging.
Yeah.
So now change has come. People are getting our children more into recreational, social skills, developing those in high school and schools. But we need to do more.
Okay. What is one of your goals, educational goals? What would they want?
Okay, so I look at, when I was in the transition area, I looked at 4 areas. The first one is you look at the individual and say, what do you want to do after high school, after you're done with high school? You can look at employment.
Okay, employment.
If he or she is able to.
Yes.
2, education.
Education.
Get some training to
Continuing
help you
education.
with your continuing education to maybe fill a need so that she or he can work. 3, get involved in the community. Social involvement, independent living. And what you want to do as a parent, as myself as well as any educator, you should look at how can we make this student reach his or her goals and help them to be independent. Because at the end of the tunnel, sad as it is, most parents die before their child. And so
You worry about how they're going to continue surviving,
even though
flourishing.
You have a sibling that's going to take over for him.
Sure, a family member.
It's not the same, Mary. It is not the same. And the more you can make them independent, functioning, the better they're going to have.
And how hard it was during COVID when they wouldn't allow family members to be in the hospital with a child that has a special need.
Right. And that is one of the challenges. And I'll be honest to you, Mary, that was one of the biggest concerns, because as you saw it, you saw people getting sick, people dying at the beginning a lot, and they would seclude them.
I know.
And you just couldn't go
Couldn't
in there.
be with
You would see the adults from the outside waving.
I know.
And in the back of my mind, I was saying, what happens if my daughter happens to go in there and we can't see her? Well, I'll be honest with you, Mary, I was going to lie. You know.
Yes.
Lying that I'm sick too, because I knew
You needed to be with her.
well, either my wife or me had to be there, because the factor was this, Mary. If you have a child that is at home and she has a mom and dad she can cry to or say help or whatever, and she doesn't have it in the hospital, what is that child going to believe? I think her emotional state is going to hit a depression.
Yes.
Mom, Dad, you left me.
You left me, abandonment.
And it'd be difficult for the physicians, because she might say, no, I don't want to get well.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
and
It's interesting.
it is a very interesting.
One of the things that I asked you a little bit ago, before our conversation, was the Special Olympics. There must be hundreds of young adults or persons with
pandemic,
disabilities.
before
About how
the-
many?
Before
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, I would say well over 500.
Okay.
There was so many different sports involved that individuals can participate. And Special Olympics does a wonderful job. Miracle League does another wonderful job.
Yes.
And we try to get our kids involved in functions of them, as well as things that we created.
What are some of the activities that basketball, or what do you, the folklorico, what do you have for them at St.
We
Pius?
have at St. Pius, if an individual is in our programs, we try to get them involved. We first bring them in and say, what do you like? And so if he or she says, I want to do sports, okay, what sports? Special Olympics. Because we have track, we have basketball, we have soccer, we have gymnastics people doing swimming, golf. They were doing powerlifting. This is pre-pandemic, pre-COVID. And now, as they're getting a new director, We're going to meet with him tomorrow, our group, to see how we can develop more programs.
Okay.
Because they went south of the COVID.
Yes.
And now we need to just get
Build.
moving forward so that our individuals, not only St. Pius, all individuals have this golden opportunity to participate.
One of the activities that I love is inviting you all to be in the Nativity, to be the actors and the representatives of the Nativity, Mary, Joseph, the three kings, shepherds. And one of the things that you've done, and you're going to be in our December 10th Navidad on the Border celebration with the seniors. The audiences are seniors. And we invite the community, and they do a sign. They sign to...
They know the song Silent Night.
Silent Night.
They do it in sign. And so we also, besides the sports and social events, we also have a folklorical choir. And our individuals, they like to showcase their talents.
Yes. Yes.
And so
it's ability. It's about abilities,
yes,
isn't it?
abilities.
Not disabilities.
It's all about what they can do, the ability that they have. And so in doing this, when you asked us, Mary, the first year, everybody, me. Everybody in the folklorico that was there. And so we're blessed that individuals have an opportunity to experience this event as well as participate and socialize.
Exactly.
And so when we asked them for this year, because we've been out for 2 years, we asked them, would you like to? 16 kids right away. I want to.
16 on stage.
Yeah, of course the parents go see them. And
we're going to have to find a lot of costumes.
And so, we never say no to nobody. They've been called by the Mexican Consulado to perform the same, basically similar activity over on the 3rd of December.
Beautiful.
So they're going to be there. They're going to be here.
Maybe we'll share the costumes. We'll let you use our costumes.
Well, they would appreciate that.
Yes, we'll do that.
And it's just, if you see them, Mary, and you see them dance, they're dancing from the heart. They're not the perfect dancer.
Yeah,
some of them are pretty good dancers, and there's a few that need to work a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you see from the heart what they give you, the fun that they're having, the social, it's all thumbs up.
And boy, do they demonstrate those smiles.
Oh, yes, they do.
And it's so good that you're going to be with us again for our Navidad on the Border, sponsored through the Community College Senior Adult Program. I'm so happy you all said yes, and that 17 kids raised their hand. We want to be in the great photo op.
Oh, yes.
Great, the family members are taking pictures, and they're so proud. And in their costumes, it's the three kings and Mary and Joseph and the shepherds. And so we're going to have a good time.
3 years ago or 4 years ago, your council in LULAC gave some awards to some of our kids, remember? And they were going to El Paso Community College. Did you see the excitement when we announced it?
That's right.
They were so excited because I'm going to El Paso Community College and take some enrichment classes here. They just wanted to be part of the college.
Very good. And we'll see you all next week.